Hello, Colo. Am I the one?
Yep.
There you are.
Hmm.
Wasn't sure if I was the one who had muted you or not.
No, I'm just been eating.
And, greetings, everyone. Welcome to another disaster show. All right, first things first. I need to. So, last week, did that, and looked like it was working, and yeah, there we go. Number 2 key does not work. Everything else does, but not the number 2 key. Colo is in voice with me, so he'll be able to hopefully actually. You know what? Let me. Uh, right. You, the best I can. Can't. I don't know. Yeah, I cannot give you. Interesting. Why does it not let me share screen? That is weird. Well, I'm sorry to say, Colo, that food is falling apart, making a mess. All right. Okay. Anyway, so gotta take off the plate and see what is going on. But yeah, I'm a little surprised I cannot, for some reason, share screen with Discord today. That is the first time I've seen it do that. White liquid everywhere. Well, hopefully it's not ruining anything. All right. So, This, so this is the button that doesn't work, actually. Let's test something. Ah, now it is working.
Is it afraid of the wizard?
That is interesting.
Yeah, like
I wonder. Okay, I'm gonna test something again. Because at this point, I'm starting to think that the problem is my metal plate. Because it kind of only happened, well, that, that every time that there's been an oddity, the plate was on. So I am wondering if that is the case. If that's the case, I'm unsure how I'll deal with it because my setup kind of needs it. But at least I'm going to know what's going. Well, I will have a sense of what may be going on and maybe figure out what to do to adjust. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is there might be a couple of contacts that are a little longer and the touch, but there's a reason. Okay, I'll bring it up. I'll see if I install it. I mean, honest, if that, if that's the actual one, like if there's no need to do more work, I'll definitely be happy. As I said, I kind of want a working keyboard. And that would mean that, well, I mean, if that, okay, if that is a, come on, get in there. If that is the problem and we can resolve it. Because if we can't resolve it, it doesn't really help anything. Were you able to clean up all the white liquid? Yeah, maybe you're still doing that.
finishing touches.
Ah. Okay, so plastic backing is on. Okay, and this works. Okay, I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna put the metal backing back on. See what happens, and then try to.
Before you do that,
Yep.
you could just push in from the backside on that button, so it moves a little bit outwards.
With the but with the plate off, or
Yes,
well, I was
with
thinking.
just with your finger.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of trying to look to see, because the button is kind of low. Like there's no way the button's the button itself is touching the plate. Okay, I'll double check, but like the button is here, like there's all like and it like it goes basically all the way to here, no more. Like the button is not really high. The thing that's high is the controller plate, the controller circuit, and maybe there's something there. Like I'll have to look and figure things out and hope that it can be resolved. I mean,
Does it have to be a metal plate?
well,
On the
yeah,
back?
for my setup, yes, or or I need to order stuff.
Okay.
Because on my chair, it's held in place by a magnet.
Oh, okay. Double-sided plate. Double-sided tape.
Well,
I would resolve it that way.
well, I mean, I'm thinking more if I if the only solution is to use a plastic plate, I'm thinking more by buying one of those connector ring kind of thing for the mobile phones. The I don't know what they're called. They're basically
Yeah, I know
so
what you are talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking getting that and gluing it there.
That could
The
work.
issue with that, and why I like the plate, is that it locks it in a fixed location. So if I screw it up, it's going to be uncomfortable to use the entire time. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. But yeah, like I don't see anything that should. Oh, wait a minute.
Maybe in
Wait a minute. Okay, I see. Yeah. I see them. Okay, I wonder if I can trim these. But so if we do that. Oops. Okay. So now that is basically in place, but just held by hand. So now that works. So I am going to screw that and that, because by hand there's a I can't press hard. But if again, like if I can find a solution by not screwing it too tightly, I will take that.
you could just place a tiny plate of plastic
Yep.
on the contacts, and that would also do.
Yep. That would be a question of, can I find something like that? And I mean among the stuff I already have, because
Food container.
sorry. Oh, wait a minute. I've got bread, plastic bread bag stuff.
could be too thin. I think more about a yogurt a cup.
Okay. That's
The
kind
bread
of
bag
tight.
would also work.
That's kind of tight. Okay, that works. That still works. Okay.
Shake it a bit. If you suspect that it
Well,
will connect, then
I'm going to add the screws and test it after each screw.
okay.
And see what happens. But yes, I do intend to shake it because I suspect that that's a simple test that doesn't get done when they when they build it. Okay, no idea what that message was about. Okay, still works. One more screw. And honestly, after that, like if this all works, the next test I'll do is just bring it to my gaming station, quote unquote, real quick, and see if it works. Still works. But this is kind of typical. Well, typical. This is kind of stuff that happens to me. Like, problems aren't consistent. Like, what can have happened in me changing the backing and returning to the metal one? That means that it works now. And yeah, it still works.
Sometimes that just works.
I know, but it's kind of it's kind of a it is too common to feel like
Sometimes the spirit of the machine comes back.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason I say that technology doesn't like me, and that's the kind of no. This is like technology has a habit of acting oddly around me, and I
Okay.
know that ultimately it just quote unquote happens, but it feels intentional at times. All right, I'm going to go test this on my gaming machine real quick. Should not be long.
Okay.
Should not be gone very long. And you guys might still be able to hear me if I raise my voice.
Yeah, we still hear you.
Okay, it is connected. Let's see if it works. Hey, now it's the. All right, so when I connect it through the audio port, it does not work at all. But if I connect it to the UBS, it does. So I guess now I gotta check if the audio port is is if I broke something. But could that have caused a problem?
Uh, maybe it was too quick. The drivers didn't fully load, or I don't know. Or could be that port. That's the issue.
All right, what can I see? So that is here. That is that, and this. Do I have a do I have a second one? Yeah, last week I basically assembled both the controller board. So 3 pins and 1 pin. Yeah, this one was already. Okay, so is there tests that I can do to check if this is what is soldered on properly?
If the connector is soldered up properly, just looking at it, or just jamming in the probes of a multimeter and looking at it, but I don't know. Maybe. Because it's connected via regular audio jack?
Yeah, yeah, it's a regular audio cable.
Oh.
So what do I want to connect to check? Right now I've got it set for continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers are changing to here. Numbers are not changing there. Okay, the only place that numbers are changing is here. So I don't know if they should change elsewhere. Although if I flip it, I do not get the change in numbers. My understanding is that the top one is power. because that's an issue with it. It connects to power first. And if that's why we need to unplug it before connecting the left side. Otherwise we can short it. But yeah, that's the extent of what I know. I mean, I suppose I can remelt the solder. Let's see what will happen.
You could do that. If I were you, I would just wiggle the connector in the gaming computer. That would be
You
easiest
mean
and
plug it
fastest.
in and shake it?
Yes.
Wait. I will try that. Nothing happened, but I'm going to do a quick check of continuity on the cable itself. All right, I have confirmed continuity on the cable. So we're back to here.
So,
Shaking this did
yeah.
not resolve anything.
Okay. Didn't even connect for a second.
No,
Yes?
no.
Okay. So there's something wrong with the port. Connect the power from the jack to the power from the C port. If you can find it.
Power from the jack to power from the C port.
Yes.
Okay, what does that mean?
Mm,
So power from the jack, I'm
okay.
guessing you mean this pin here.
Probably.
And what is the
Look.
C? What is C port?
The one to the right. The
So,
oval one.
so the USB port?
Yeah.
Okay, so the top cable, the top pin does not react to any of these. Actually, would that be directional?
Uh,
I'm gonna test it. Just to
would
be
be.
sure. I'm gonna test it just to be sure.
It should. It shouldn't be directional. Well, it will be directional as they don't connect each other. Like if there is higher voltage from the or one side, it won't go to the other connection.
Is interesting. Okay, this pin here, these two pin react if I flip them. If I do go that to that, I get number changes. It balances out at about 600.
Mm.
I'm on the continuity check, so which is the same thing as if I touched a screw.
So that's your ground.
So this pin here is the ground.
Yes.
Okay. Does that tell us something? So this pin here,
That
so those two pins here do the same thing.
yes. That's all.
Whoa, okay. That's interesting. For a moment, this thing beat. Okay, we have continuity in this direction from that to that. And in this
Mm.
direction, oh, no, we have continuity right here.
Okay, and those are two different pins from the ground. Yes.
Well, no. Well, this pin here is different. In this direction, the top one connecting to here gives me 600, same as the screw, which you were saying means it's the ground.
Yeah.
So here we get continuity across the board, even with the screw.
Huh.
That
Wait.
could that be where the problem is then? Because I don't think this should be giving us continuity with a screw.
Well, one should, but not two.
So maybe the solder jumped? I don't see anything.
Looks like it, but it would break like long ago, not now.
So this reacts, gives me a number of about 700. This also gives me a number of about 700. About 700. About 700. And I get full continuity to the screw. this pin. Nothing reacts. This one. Nothing reacts either. So what I find odd, and it may very well be my lack of knowledge, is the fact that I get continuity if I touch a screw. Like, to me, that feels really odd because the screws are in the plastic and they should not be connected, should they?
Not all screws, but some could be connected to the circuit board and act as a ground connection to ground. On most of laptops, they do that.
So then having continuity is not so odd.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what else can we test? So this is giving me number to the matrix. What? So, and this pin. So yeah, this pin here, which has continuity with the screws, also reacts to the pins of the matrix. As well as the keys themselves. Now, I don't know what that means, but I am going to test something. Okay, why are you not connecting? It's really weird. Unconnect you. What do you do? Okay, you behave properly. Huh. That is another oddity. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna try it again. Oh. Okay, this time it connected fine. Okay. It also does not react connected to this keyboard. Doing that. are you acting like your hard drive? Well, no, actually, I know why you're putting that up. The question is why. Okay, this time you did not do it. I don't know. Okay. All right. So this behaves exactly the same way, or does not behave at all, regardless of which of the keyboard I connect it with. So to me, that indicates the problem is definitely here.
Yeah,
So the
stuff
question,
misbehaving.
so the
Uh,
question is why, and what do I do about it?
so even if you connect it to the loose cable that you have here, you don't get any connection, correct?
If I connect it with the USB, I get connection.
Okay.
It's only if I
Uh,
connect it through the audio cable that I don't seem to get connection.
okay. You could just hit it with heat until it.
Until it behaves or breaks.
Yeah. Why not connect it to the USB cable? More power! Yeah. More heat will sometimes do the trick.
No, this one doesn't seem to want to. Did I break anything? Huh. I get numbers here now. All right. That works. That's still not connected. I don't see anything out that registers as wrong. Looking at, if I'm taking it out like that and look at it, I don't see anything that seems wrong. Okay, if there is one difference I can make out, this pin right here is a little more elevated.
Hmm. Then maybe place it on a flat surface and heat that area up so it melts the solder and settles in a bit lower. But I don't know.
Okay. At this point, I'm willing to try pretty much anything. Ow! Part of the problem. There we go. One is really twofold. I can't tell if I'm. Oh, I saw smoke, so. Okay, that's evened it. That's evened it out. But that's the pin that was making contact. That was giving me. That was responding to everything else.
Mm. Yeah, no, they're all even.
And yeah, considering that there's a metal ring around the screw here, I guess the contact is intended to be made. Okay. There. These might not be set. Okay, so that works. And this does not. I guess we're reaching the point where we need somebody better. Somebody more with more experience. Or do you have more ideas?
I don't have ideas why one port works while the other doesn't.
Well, I mean, they're connected differently, so that, to me that tells me that, well, tells me. My guess is that the issue is in here. Either the pin itself, which I guess the way I could go about testing that is taking this one off.
Well, you could resolder the other board if it's not that big of a deal, but I think it's
You mean
a
the
bit
one
of
I took
work.
off?
Wait. Wait. What?
Because the one I took off of there was the defective one, the one that our best estimate was causing the issue
Okay.
with the power.
Huh. You could also change the port from one to another, from the keyboard to the one with the defective line that you are having in your hand. But I don't think it would work. Uh, 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 well, is it a big deal that you cannot connect it via audio port?
Yes, because that's the only way it can connect and work. If I connect it via the USB, it flips the keyboard. It treats it as if it's the right side.
Okay. Shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I consider that if it didn't do that, I would, you know, I would have, this, done that as a quote unquote last resort. But yeah.
Uh, hmm.
Well, it's well, I'm gonna call it done for today.
Okay.
Because that's an hour is as much time as I've got the energy for something like this.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, no, as I said, this is not something I enjoy. This is something I'm forced to do.
Yeah, I know. But also that connector was working before we took it apart. Yes?
Uh, well, it worked, and it gave me it gave me the behavior that this key was acting as if it was always pressed in.
Okay.
Then when I tested it here, when I removed the back, this key worked fine. Sorry, when I brought it back here, this key no longer worked at all. When I took off the
Okay.
backing, this key started working properly.
Okay.
And that's when the audio jack, for some reason, would not work anymore.
Okay, you are cursed.
Yes, I am.
That's only reasonable thing here.
I'm not, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like this is, all right. Well, I guess maybe I can. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe Butted Place can be awake next week.
Try connecting it tomorrow.
You know what? At this point, that might actually be the solution. Test it day by day. Test it day by day and see what day gives me what kind of results.
Start a fire and dance around it.
Yeah, that's less my stuff. But no, yeah, like I said, it's technology acts oddly around me.
Yes.
They say that trying the same thing over and over and expecting different results is a sign of insanity. But the problem is with me, I will do the same thing over and over and get different result each time. So there's a point where you go, okay, who's insane here, me or the bleeping machine?
Yeah, shit bugged.
Oh, the key is different color. Yeah, I've got the keycaps. I've got 3 different set of keycap that gotten mixed up, that are spread all over the place. So
Okay.
when I decided to test this, I just needed keycaps, so I grabbed whatever I had. If it, when we get it to work, I'm going to be optimistic. When we get it to work, I will go hunting for the correct keycap. Although, because it's my gaming keyboard, I may not actually bother, because I don't really need to know what's on them, because it's pure. It's not really typing; it's pure reflexive. So
Yeah, I know.
All right. So, just for the hell of it. Come on, get in. Mhm. Okay, now 1 and 2 have stopped working.
And the metal backing is off.
It's on. The metal backing is on. I'm going to loosen it. Swear. Okay, now number 2 works. Number 1 doesn't. Okay, the entire column doesn't work. Ugh.
Took off the metal plate.
So that was bringing this to an end.
Not today.
Well, the thing is, I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, I know, but
Like, you know, I stop now because it gives me half an hour to decompress from the stress that this is before I got to move on to the rest of the stuff. But yep, the entire column right now is burned.
the entire
This
column
entire
stopped
column does
working.
not respond right now,
Even without the backing.
even without the backing.
We might have fried the controller. By any chance, the same column that wasn't working before?
Nope.
Okay.
Before it was this column right here, which is
Mm-hmm.
1, 2. It was number 3, and now it's number. Now it works. Now it works.
Shit is possessed.
This is the last test that I'm doing. Because I really need to log out after that. Come on, stop doing that. Keeps acting like I'm like it expects me to do the update to flash the CMOS. All right, there we go. Yep, that doesn't work. So yeah, at this point at this point I don't know. But I'm done. Alrighty. Thank you very much, everyone, for dropping by, keeping me company, assisting to this disaster. Thanks for the help, Colo. I really appreciate it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like the odd behavior of the keys, I have no idea. This, I suspect. I mean, the pin might be killed. Maybe next week, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it off of this and put it here and see if it resolves anything. And if it doesn't, I'll probably go back to building the other one and hoping I get better results out of that.
I don't know. Shit rigged.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, thank you everyone. Thanks, Colo. For those who follow my writing, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And otherwise, I hope you have a good week. Sorry, a good rest of the weekend, a good week when it arrives. And I'll see you when I see you.